Vancouver has changed so much in the last couple of years, both good and bad. But even then, it is still ranked as one of the best places to live in the world year after year. And you should be aware of the pros and cons if you're considering moving here. Let's check it out in this video. Now, firstly, for the pros, natural beauty. Vancouver is renowned for its stunning natural beauty. Surrounded by mountains and water, the city provides breathtaking views and ample opportunities for outdoor activities. Residents can enjoy hiking, biking, skiing, and water sports all within a short distance away. And during the winter times, for me, I love snowboarding, so I can access 3 different mountains all within less than an hour. And Whistler is only 2 hours away with world-class slopes and amenities that I can enjoy. People from all around the world come to Vancouver and Whistler to enjoy everything it has to offer, but for me, it's only a short drive away. And that's something I appreciate. Vancouver is very unique in the fact that it is somewhat of a big city with lots of buildings and high-rises, yet we're surrounded by the ocean, lakes, mountains, all integrated within our city. So if you're someone that appreciates nature, all while not wanting to sacrifice a city lifestyle, Vancouver just may be the city for you. Number 2 for the pros is multiculturalism. Vancouver is one of the most diverse cities in the world, with residents coming from all around the globe. Vancouver's diversity of culture is reflected in its food, culture, music, landscape, and more. This is personally one of my favorite aspects of living in Vancouver. I get to enjoy authentic foods from all across the globe while not having to travel any further than maybe half an hour to an hour. For example, we're known for our world-class Chinese food, and you can head over to Richmond for Korean food, Coquitlam, Persian food, North Vancouver, Indian food, Surrey, and so much more. If you're a sushi lover like I am, Vancouver is known for its world-class sushi that is second to none. Oh, and fun fact, did you know California roll was actually invented in Vancouver, right here? Vancouver is home to numerous ethnic neighborhoods where different communities have established a presence. For example, Chinatown, Punjabi Market, Little Italy, Commercial Drive are areas that showcase the city's multicultural fabric. I remember when I first moved to Canada when I was a little boy, from a country where everyone looked very similar to me, so I was so shocked to see so many different people from so many different backgrounds, and that's something I've grown to love every single day now. This allowed me to learn about so many different cultures and broaden my perspective. Vancouver is a city where multiple languages are spoken, reflecting the linguistic diversity of its residents. While English is the primary language, you can often hear languages such as Mandarin, Punjabi, Tagalog, Korean, and many others spoken in different parts of the city. Overall, Vancouver is a city that is very diverse and celebrates cultures from all different backgrounds. Number 3 for the pros is the weather. Vancouver actually has some of the best weathers in all of Canada compared to cities like Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and more. Winters in Vancouver are relatively mild compared to the rest of Canada. Daytime temperatures typically range from 0 to 10 degrees Celsius. And snowfalls are usually rare. Though we do see snow a couple times a year, it's not too bad. One thing that you should absolutely know is that Vancouver rains a lot, even to the point where we're often referred to as Raincouver. This is due to the fact that we're in a rainforest. Vancouver receives a significant amount of rainfall, especially during the fall and winter months. It is not uncommon to see several days in a row where it rains nonstop, especially during the winter times. If you're coming from a tropical place where it doesn't rain too much, you'll definitely be surprised here. But for me, I've gotten used to it and grown to love it. And for this reason, some may consider this a con, but for me, I'd rather have mild climates and rain over extreme weather and snow. Now for the cons, I feel that our city doesn't have many cons, but the ones that we do have are rather significant. And the most significant con is the high cost of living. We have some of the highest cost of living in North America, including gas prices, groceries, insurance, cost of professional services, and more. If you're not coming from another major city, you'll definitely notice these shocking prices. Because of all the amazing pros that I mentioned earlier, many people from all over the world are willing to pay to live in our city, which resulted in higher housing prices and other increases in costs. Being that this is such an important factor when considering to move to Vancouver, I've made an entire video on the cost of living, so check that video out right here. For number 2 for the cons is related to number 1, but needs to be talked about separately as I believe this is such a big issue, is the lack of affordable housing. The lack of affordable housing in Vancouver has been a long-standing issue and a significant challenge for all residents, and there are several factors that contribute to this problem. There are limited supply compared to the very high demand in our city. The cost to build housing is very expensive, which makes it difficult to build affordable housing compared to luxury housing when it does get built. There are many zoning regulations and land use policies that impact what can be built in our city. These constraints limit the density of housing developments and contribute to a shortage of affordable options. The cost of rent has risen also year after year. The average rent for a 1-bedroom in Vancouver is $2,700, and for 2 bedrooms, about $3,500. As you can see, this is significant, especially compared to the average income of the city. And despite all the high costs, there are still plenty of competition for these housing units, whether it's to purchase or to rent. Because of the unaffordable housing costs, it is not uncommon at all to find Vancouverites live with roommates or still live with family. For many Vancouverites, their dream of ever owning a home is slim to none, as an average price of a house in Vancouver is over $1.2 million. To give you an idea of what housing options are available, I made a video showcasing different properties in Greater Vancouver. So check that video out right here. For some minor complaints, Vancouver struggles with traffic congestion, especially during rush hours. The limited road infrastructure combined with a growing population can result in frustrating commutes, but in my personal experience, it isn't too bad. And another small con of Vancouver is the lack of nightlife scene, especially compared to some of the major cities like Toronto, LA, New York, and etc. So if nightlife and entertainment scene is important for you, Vancouver may not be your first choice, but in my experience, I feel that it is improving in the last couple of years. Like living in any city in the world, Vancouver comes with both advantages and disadvantages. I think Vancouver is one of the best places in the world to live in, and you should seriously consider if it's worth it for you as well. I've made several videos on living in Vancouver, so check those videos out to help you in your decision. That's it for today. See you in the next one.